yo, what it do, baby? It's your boy Dynamic, and I was playing last night, guys. I was playing last night, and all of a sudden, it dawned upon me. It was amazing. It just hit me like a brick wall. When I was trying to get the diamond camos for the assault rifles, it just hit me like a brick wall that the perks are so unbalanced in this game. Especially when not using perks, the first thing that hit me was, wow, assault rifles without toughness are absolutely terrible. I'm talking about terrible. You can hit the first shot. You can hit one or two shots, right? And the guy will hit you with his first shot, and your assault rifle will... It's like almost impossible in 1v1 fights. Toughness is like 100% necessary. And then I started looking at everyone that was killing me, and all of them have toughness. 9 out of every 10 people that killed me last night, and I decided to actually write it down while I was getting killed. 9 out of 10 had toughness on. Can't Treyarch see this? I'm pretty sure they have internal stats of what are the guns that are the most used and the perks that are the most used and stuff like that, and that's how they balance the game. But seriously, don't they notice this? Can they even change it? Let's just go by each tier in perks. In tier 1, you have lightweight, flak jacket, blind eye, hardline, and ghost. Now, 3 of them are really good and necessary in my opinion. Not necessary for every class, but are really useful, which are flak jacket, hardline. Hardline is necessary or is very useful because score streaks take so many points in this game that anything that you can do to actually reduce the time or the kills or the points needed to actually get the score streaks is a good perk. And Ghost, come on, do I need to say why Ghost is good? So those are the 3 best out of the first tier. Lightweight is just a preference for the style you play. Basically, if your preference is to rush, then you would pick lightweight, but you're really at a disadvantage KD wise and team wise. You're really at a disadvantage if you have lightweight. And man, I don't even want to talk about blind eye because I don't see anybody using blind eye, seriously, unless you have a class with like a backup launcher and you're gonna be killing like air support, which means that you're a bad player to begin with, because if you're a really good player, you're not gonna need it. 85 to 90% of the games that you play, you're not gonna need it because the other team is not gonna get a lot of score streaks. That's just what it is. But at least out of the 5, you have 3 really good perks that are really useful. So let's move on to the next tier, and the next tier, which is tier 2, we have hardwired, we have scavenger, we have cold-blooded, we have fast hands, and toughness. And let me start right off the bat. There's only two good perks that you can use that are really good in this tier. Only 2. Which is scavenger, and scavenger is mostly used if you want to get extra equipment all the time, and if you're a really good player, you're going to run out of ammo all the time, and if you want to keep your gun, so scavenger obviously is a really good perk. And toughness, because if you don't have toughness in this game and you use an assault rifle, oh my god, you're really going to have a tough time. I'm really telling you out there, guys, if you use an assault rifle and you're not using toughness, then you're basically taking away at least .50 out of your KD. But anyways, fast hands, that's more for the style of play that your style of play that doesn't actually impact in reality your KD that much. And hardwired is one of the worst perks in the game in my opinion. The reason it's one of the worst perks in the game is because seriously, counter UAVs, they don't mess you up that much. They're not that much of a hindrance. And EMPs are seldom attained by the other team. 90% of all games, you won't even need this. Well, not 90%. I would say 50% of the games, people rock counter UAVs, but that's not a big detriment. That goes away in like, what, 30 seconds? And EMPs, I mean, if EMPs were 600 points, then I would see the need for this perk. I would see it as a usable perk, but at this moment, it's just one of the worst perks in the game. Cold-blooded is like a half good perk. The reason being because people use so many target finders, especially with light machine guns in this game, that it's a usable perk. It's not a good perk, but it's a usable perk. And the only reason that it should be used is because of the target finder. Anyways, in tier 2, the only really necessary perk is Toughness. Toughness is the best perk in the game. I don't know if anyone ever said that before, but Toughness is the best perk in the game. Anyways, the tier 3 perks are Dexterity, Engineer, Dead Silence, Extreme Conditioning, Tactical Mask, and Awareness. Now, Awareness, let me just say right off the bat, it's a failure. You cannot hear enemies' footsteps no matter what. It's just a waste of a perk. The same thing with Dead Silence. If enemies can't hear your footsteps, then what is the reason for using it? If you can't even hear your own footsteps in this game, your own, so what's the point of using it? There's no reason. Another waste of a perk. Extreme Conditioning has more to do with your style of play, but let me just say this. The more you run in Call of Duty, eventually the more you will die. So Extreme Conditioning, for KD wise, to boost your KD, it'll lower your KD eventually. The last two perks are Dexterity and Engineer. Dexterity is the second best last perk. Obviously, you need to shoot before the enemy does. And Engineer is the best third perk in the whole game because it saves your life so many times, even from sentry guns. Peace out, players.